Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital. Jack Brennan saves Carly? In the latest episode of General Hospital on ABC, Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, finds herself in a precarious situation. And she's confronted by John Cates, Adam Harrington, also known as Jagger. So, with evidence against her, Carly resorts to desperate measures to protect Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. This comes even as he says goodbye to his son, Danny Morgan, Asher Jared Antonizon. Carly's actions prompt Jagger to arrest her. This leads to speculation about who might come to her rescue. Jack Brennan, Charles Measure, former head of pikemen and a character with a clear interest in Carly, is a possible contender. Meanwhile, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, is working to untangle the situation. But she's thrown off course when she discovers Jack is mysteriously missing from Pentonville. As Carly's arrest unfolds, Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, and Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, are on hand, but whether they can prevent Carly's imprisonment remains to be seen. The episode concludes with the exciting news that Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, is set to return to Port Charles. The fate of Carly Spencer hangs in the balance as the storyline continues to unfold. Get all your daily General Hospital spoilers and news here at Soap Dirt. And stay tuned for updates on your favorite characters' fates. Port Charles never sleeps, especially when danger and redemption intertwine in the most unexpected ways. Just when everyone thought Carly Spencer's troubles couldn't get any worse, fate throws her into the path of a man she least expected to rely on, Jack Brennan. The ex-WSB agent, once tangled in webs of deceit, now stands at a crossroads between his old life and the faint glimmer of redemption. But could Brennan really save Carly, physically, emotionally, or even spiritually, from the chaos that's consumed her life? Carly's breaking point. Carly's been holding it together, barely. Between Drew's mounting legal woes, Sonny's growing instability, and the fallout from her courtroom battle, she's been pushed past her limits. The once fiery powerhouse of Port Charles is exhausted, stripped down to her rawest emotions. When the judge's ruling on her financial misconduct sends her spiraling toward potential prison time, Carly's world caves in again. But before the ink is even dry on the judgment papers, whispers ripple through the courthouse corridors. Someone's watching Carly. Not the press. Not a mob rival. Someone far more unpredictable, Jack Brennan. A chance encounter, or something more. It starts innocently enough. Carly spots Brennan outside the courthouse, leaning against a black SUV, eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses. For a moment, she thinks it's another security agent tailing Sonny. But when he calls her name, Carly Spencer, the chill in his voice cuts through the noise of the city. Their conversation is charged, laced with history neither wants to revisit. Brennan, once Sonny's adversary through WSB entanglements, knows what it means to live with guilt and consequences. He's back in town, claiming to have information about a larger conspiracy brewing inside the WSB, something that could link directly to the judge handling Carly's case. Carly doesn't want to believe him. But when her car mysteriously fails on the way home and a dark SUV tails her along the docks, reality hits. She's in danger. Brennan's redemption arc. Brennan's past isn't spotless. He's made deals with devils, worked covert ops that blurred moral lines, and crossed paths with nearly every major power player in Port Charles. But lately, his demeanor has shifted. There's regret in his tone, a haunted look in his eyes when he speaks about the lives he's affected. Helping Carly might not just be about saving her. It could be his way of saving himself. Sources in WSB circles suggest Brennan's been feeding intel to Anna Devane, hoping to expose rogue elements still embedded in the Bureau. His return to Port Charles wasn't random. It was strategic. But when his mission intersects with Carly's crisis, his professionalism falters. He can't ignore her. Brennan knows the system is rigged, and he believes Carly's being targeted, not just by the law, but by someone much darker. Days after Carly's sentencing hearing, her home is broken into. Nothing is stolen, except a flash drive Drew kept hidden in her desk. Inside it, sensitive data linking Aurora's financial transfers to a shadow company possibly run by the remnants of pikemen. Anna's suspicions point to rogue WSB factions using Aurora's digital shell companies as money laundries. And if Carly unknowingly held any of that data, she could be seen as an accessory. Enter Brennan, who's suddenly the only one capable of connecting the dots. Despite his murky past, Brennan's expertise in covert finance and surveillance gives him a leg up. He's the one who finds evidence that someone framed Carly to cover their own operations. When Carly confronts him, she's furious, She doesn't want his help, doesn't trust his motives. But when he risks his own life to pull her out of a dangerous ambush at Pier 47, her walls begin to crack. A dangerous rescue. It's late, the fog heavy on the docks. Carly's there to meet Diane, who's supposedly found new evidence to appeal her sentence. But when Diane never shows, two masked men corner Carly near the edge of the water. Their voices are low, threatening. You should have stayed quiet about the judge. Then, before they can grab her, a shot rings out. One man falls. The other flees. Brennan emerges from the shadows, weapon drawn, expression torn between control and panic. You okay? He asks, breath ragged. Carly, trembling, can barely form words. For the first time in a long while, she's speechless and terrified. As sirens wail in the distance, Brennan hustles her into a warehouse, tending to a scrape on her arm. His hands are steady, his demeanor almost gentle. But underneath it all, there's a tension neither can deny. The air hums with unspoken questions, and an unexpected connection. Carly's dilemma. Over the following days, Brennan becomes both her protector and her mystery. He sets up quiet meetings with Anna and Jordan, working behind the scenes to expose the corruption targeting Carly. But he keeps secrets too, some she senses, some she fears. When Drew finds out Brennan's been shadowing Carly, his temper flares. He accuses Brennan of manipulating her. Yet even Drew can't ignore that Brennan's information clears Carly's name. Still, Carly wrestles with her instincts. Trusting a man like Jack Brennan means walking a fine line between salvation and danger. And as much as she hates to admit it, she feels something stirring inside her, something she thought she'd buried after Jason's death. Brennan's presence reminds her of Jason in subtle ways. His calm under fire, his quiet protectiveness, the way he sees through her walls. But Brennan's darker, more unpredictable. Where Jason was loyal, Brennan is tortured. And that might be exactly what draws Carly to him. A new alliance or new trouble. With Brennan's help, Anna finally cracks the case. Judge Preston, the one presiding over Carly's trial, has ties to offshore accounts funneled through Pikeman's shell corporations. The same corporation Carly was unknowingly connected to through Aurora. Carly's name is cleared, the charges dropped. Brennan disappears before the press conference. No thank you, no farewell. Just gone. But later, a single envelope appears at Carly's door. Inside, a photograph of the two of them on the docks, taken the night he saved her. On the back, a message scrawled in black ink. You don't owe me anything. But Port Charles isn't done with us yet. What comes next? Brennan's act of heroism blurs the line between villain and savior. For Carly, it's a turning point. She's free, but not unscathed. She can't shake the feeling that Brennan's still watching, still protecting her from afar. And maybe deep down she hopes he is. Because in Port Charles, salvation often comes from the unlikeliest of places. And Jack Brennan, the man once defined by betrayal, may have just become Carly Spencer's most unexpected ally, or her next heartbreak waiting to happen. Coming soon on General Hospital. Anna races to find Brennan before the WSB silences him. Carly faces a shocking invitation from the Bureau. Drew suspects Brennan's motives, and Jason's name surfaces once again in a file Brennan left behind. Port Charles better buckle up, because if Jack Brennan's truly turned protector, then the game has only just begun.